Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, December 8th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're having a Reverse Aging Health Call with special guest Michael Thomas, founder and creator of the Halo Systems. The Old Farmer versus God by Osho. An old farmer, mature and seasoned, one day was very angry with God. He said to God in his morning prayer, "I have to tell it as it is. Enough is enough. You don't understand even the ABC of agriculture. When the rains are needed, there are no rains. When the rains are not needed, you go on pouring them. What nonsense is that? If you don't understand agriculture, you can ask me. I have devoted my whole life to it. Give me one chance, the coming season. Let me decide and see what happens." It is an ancient story, and you got to remember in those days people had such trust that they could talk directly to God, and their trust was such that the answer was bound to happen. So God said, "Okay, this season you decide." So the farmer decided, and he was very happy because whenever he wanted sun, there was sun. Whenever he wanted rain, there was rain. Whenever he wanted clouds, there were clouds. And he avoided all dangers, all the dangers that could become destructive to his crops. He simply rejected them. No strong winds, no possibility of any destruction to his crops, and his wheat started growing higher than anybody had ever seen. It was going above man's height, and he was very happy. He thought, now I will show him. And then the crop was cut, and he was puzzled. There was no wheat at all, just simply husks with no wheat in them. What happened? Such big plants big enough to have given wheat 4 times bigger than ordinary wheat, but there was no wheat at all. And suddenly he heard laughter from the clouds. God laughed and he said, "Now what do you say?" The farmer said, "I'm puzzled because there was no possibility of destruction and all that was helpful was provided. And the plants were going on well. And the crop was so green and so beautiful. What happened to my wheat?" God said, "Because you avoided all the dangers, it was impossible for the wheat to grow. Growth needs challenges. Challenge brings integrity. Otherwise, a person remains hollow, empty. If all facilities are provided for you and there is no danger in your life, you will remain hollow and empty. God gives life with all of its dangers. The season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success. The season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success." Paramahansa Yogananda. There is no room for any limiting beliefs to stop us from effortlessly moving through the great struggle of this life. When we realize the truth of who we are, the God within, we can see this amazing spiritual being inside of us. We realize we have nothing to fear. We realize we are all powerful, deeply eternal loving, and free from all doubt, insecurity, and fear. This, of course, is the trek, the understanding for all of us to eventually, in our own way, embrace. The creative process is a process of surrender, not control. Julia Cameron. Many of us created certain emotional and psychic shields as children in order to survive our childhood. These walls were necessary at that time to protect us and keep us safe. Yet, as adults, if these barriers are still up, they are blocking you from feeling love, compassion, and intimacy with others. These walls are also stopping you from manifesting true financial freedom, abundance, and even profound health into your life. If you feel stuck in your relationships with others, money, or yourself in any way, it's because your brilliant light is still hiding behind one of these old, heavy, unnecessary shields. Now you may ask, aren't there some situation where it's good to protect myself? Well, it all depends on how spiritually advanced you are and what lessons you're still needing to learn. If you know you are an infinite being that will never ever die, then what is there to defend? If you know, deep within your core, in your heart mind, you are an infinite being that will never die, then what is there to defend? That which is real cannot be harmed, so why protect it? Many of us do that because we don't know who and what we are. And if we do, we don't trust it. Yet, if we're still healing wounds inside the ego and creating an identity that needs certain boundaries, then it will feel blatantly obvious there is something that needs protection. We may need to be as strong as a mountain to stand up for our rights in order to one day let them go. Yet 99.99% of the time, we are not surrounded by angry, hungry tigers, and this defense mechanism is just an old, unconscious habit blocking us from total liberation. The need to defend ourselves is what actually makes our ego appear real. The need to defend ourselves is what actually makes our ego appear real. The ego, however, is like our shadow. How ridiculous would it be to see someone protecting their shadow from getting touched by sunlight? This is how we look when we defend our egos. If we want to become a superconscious, awakened spiritual being, stop protecting your ego. Any type of defending that we do is just coming from a place of fear, insecurity, and weakness. Defenselessness is about doing no harm on any level to any being. Defenselessness is about doing no harm on any level to any being. It is truly living from a place of peace with all beings. And will only manifest peaceful situations whenever we get upset or triggered by others. Try this simple technique. Become like a flute that is hollow and light, and allow your breath to flow through you and your triggered feelings. Who knows? Their negative words may start to sound like music to your ears. Even if you are in a long-term relationship and have been hearing sour notes for years, simply allow that song to play on through. Breathe into it, through it, and let your body feel it and eventually release it. So you're invited to make the choice right now to never protect or defend your ego. Just ask, whom am I defending? What shadow self is here, and is this aspect real or imaginary? The more we investigate what needs to be defended, the more we realize these are only small, helpless, powerless voices from your past. It may be the same voice your parents or siblings had. If you need to, then feel this need to defend these shadow parts, then let it go. The greater our defense is, the more suffering enters our bodies, and we will soon be forced to let go because we are playing into that which is not real. This universe won't let us buy into this defensive energy for very long because the imaginary always moves to the real. It is easier to see the deeper lessons that this life is teaching us once we become an unobstructed channel of awareness. The more we can let down our defenses, the more receptive we can become to the abundance and divine power all around us and inside of us. The truth is that there is really no reason to be guarded at all. Who we truly are can never be hurt by the outer world. It is only the ego self that believes it can be harmed, hurt, and destroyed. The timeless infinite consciousness that we are cannot be touched by anyone or anything ever. As eternal radiant beings, we are impervious to attacks from the outer world. This infinite beingness has never been harmed by vicious words or energy. All negative energy passes right through without touching the beauty of our timeless consciousness. As we awaken more and more to this realization, we will automatically notice the stillness and uselessness of holding any walls up with anyone. These walls block the love from flowing between us. Once we see this, we will naturally take these walls down and let the brilliant light of our infinite nature shine through. So it's a choice. You can pose this for the next 7 days if you choose. You're invited to make this radical choice. Be unguarded. Practice it with everyone, everywhere you go. Don't try to defend your point of view or protect yourself from other people's opinions, judgments, or verbal attacks. Simply practice accepting and releasing whatever comes your way. Have compassion for others. Decide to be a powerful and unlimited source of lightness, no matter what kind of energy is being sent in your direction. Don't take anything personally. Remember one thing: your ego is not real. It's an illusion. Reside in what is real by surrendering to what is deepest inside at the core of your innermost being. Whatever unwanted messages this universe sends you, welcome them and return to resting in this spiritual source inside. Play with creating a new unguarded way of accepting yourself and others in each moment. Allow everyone to have their own unique experience without judgment, and look for the deep eternal love in all of your interactions with them. What do you think happens when we all see life with abundance vision? Anthony Robbins, good statement. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. That's automatic. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. What kind of glasses are we wearing as we go through life? Are we wearing poverty-conscious glasses that only reflect back to our thoughts of lack, deprivation, and financial challenges? Or are we wearing our abundance vision spectacles and experiencing an attitude of great gratitude that truly recognizes the divine wealth throughout our day? So you're invited to take this moment of your life right now and get really curious about how you are usually seeing the world around you. How do you see it? How do you see the world around you? Right in this now moment. Now, if you are wearing scarcity glasses, you are unknowingly focusing on what isn't working and worrying about what is missing or lacking in your life. As you see only what's missing, your body, mind, and emotions are permeated with the neurochemicals that create the experience of more fear, doubt, worry, and scarcity. This creates a lower vibration in our bodies, where we can only manifest experiences that reflect back that frequency of difficulty, poverty, and lack. Just look around you. You see it every day. Look around and see it without judgment. Look at it as seeing it as a teacher. The good news is that we can choose to take off our poverty glasses and exchange them in for new abundance vision. These are super clear abundance glasses. They have powerful consciousness lenses that allow us to perceive what is working, what we are thankful for, where we are successful in life, and to truly feel the awesome divine energy that surrounds us and permeates our very being. We no longer have to settle for a hard-working, tough, unloving life where we are just getting by. It is truly miraculous what manifests when we start seeing our world as a place that is full of joy and abundance. As far as your financial situation, it doesn't really matter what has happened to you 10 years ago or what you were still struggling with yesterday. It doesn't matter if you have loads of money, are dirt poor, or are happy with just getting by. We can still step into abundance consciousness now and begin to feel that our lives are rich and full of amazing opportunities. This feeling will attract all the money and goodies you desire. It is okay to receive rich things. Some people go, "Oh, no, I don't deserve that." How the society has structured them. Even if we've never worked a day in our lives, we do deserve to take an abundant vacation. What matters most is that we do not postpone another moment of our lives and put on our abundance vision glasses today and don't take them off. Make this positive transformation right now by choosing to say no to poverty thinking and focus on where the abundance is in your life right now. And it may surprise you to find that it is already here, flowing in several areas of your life. Remember that abundance comes in many forms. We can experience an abundance of love, support, creativity, laughter, friends, imagination, space, peacefulness, playfulness, energy, health, positive thinking, money, and the list goes on and on and on for infinity. The surprising truth is that we naturally are the spiritual source of abundance itself. We are naturally the spiritual source of abundance itself. There are no limits on who we are or who we can be. Our very essence is abundant in all ways. We, as infinite timeless beings, inherently embody an abundance of love, peace, strength, compassion, and on. Since we are abundance itself, all it takes to experience more abundance is to recognize and give thanks for all of the abundance that is already us. The more we become aware of our truly abundant inner nature, the more outer abundance will show up in our lives. Once we realize and see how abundant we already are, we will be amazed at how quickly we will start to manifest even more abundance to us in the form of financial freedom, amazing relationships, incredible health, or tons of enthusiastic energy. Practice. Get out a piece of paper and write down all the different types of abundance that are in your life right now. And then focus for the remaining time, because you look at maybe at 20 minutes. Focus for the remaining time on how each one feels in your body when you think about it. Notice how good it feels to have each of these forms of abundance in your world. Allow yourself to feel expansive, rich, free in your body with each form of abundance you find. The last 2 minutes of this exercise are spent in deep gratitude, thanking the universe for providing all this abundance. And enjoy it. Yeah, we are what we think. You know, you can debate that with the ego mind till you're blue in the face. But we are what we think. And so many of us just are not consciously aware of how powerful the gods that we are in these bodies are. It's like you could be on automatic drive rather than a standard drive. Most of us are on standard drive. We have to manually shift the gears, push in the clutch, press down on the gas. Rather than be on automatic drive, where we effortlessly glide through. And on occasion, we throw some challenges out there. Okay? We do it. Doesn't mean that we acknowledge it. We do it. And it isn't self-persecution, judgment, or anything on ourselves. You just say, ooh, wonder why I put that out there. I wonder what that is going to be teaching me. Okay? Now, from that perspective, it's a whole different understanding. When we start embracing the fact that we're the ones that create the challenges in our lives. There's nothing out there, believe me, that's doing it to you. We are doing it for ourselves. For us, not to us. This is a whole different perspective and view for all of us. But imagine what that would be like, where you go through life and you know that the things that you're not looking for or expecting, these things come out of the clear blue and they just happen. Instead of us going, boy, blah, 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 we say, wow, I wonder why I created that. When any of us are in turmoil, right? And we've all been in turmoil. Instead of panicking, we look at it and go, I created this for a reason. There's a reason why I'm experiencing this. And what would that be? And it shifts the frequency and the pattern because we are what we think. We are even more on what we feel. Many situations that we ignore. We see them, we know they're there, and then we closet them. Surrender gives us the eyes to see God, and everything that is brought to these eyes becomes divine. Also. So a lot of people, do you ever peruse or hear this statement being made across the planet? What is God? Right? The source of God is the foundation of our very being. The source of God is our essential essence. You, in that body, are the source of God. It is our true life force and the very fabric of our souls. When we can truly, fully relax inside ourselves, we create room to fully connect with this divine source from which every life experience emanates. The deeper we can let go and rest into our bodies and minds, the deeper we dive down the rabbit hole, discovering that this experience of God is the foundational truth of who and what we really are. When we all fully realize, and I mean fully realize, that God exists inside of each and every one of us, there is a feeling of deep relief like nothing any of us have ever experienced in our entire lives. It's as if we were holding our breath underwater all this time and have exploded up to the surface for our first breath of air. We feel like we can take in life in its totality with such a great lightness and buoyancy that we often feel like we're floating on air. To lift our consciousness is to ground it deeply. To do this, all that is needed is the state of surrender. To completely surrender means we are not only willing to let go of our mind and every thought inside our mind, yet that willingness is also relieved of its duty. We have completely let go. Now, this is a continual process for us, a perpetual release every day, where we no longer are holding on tight to anything. Our ego's desires move to the back burner of the stove of our lives, and we trust the synchronistic flow of this universe instead. Trust takes the front burner over desire. Trust takes the first front burner over desire, and we choose to surrender to each experience, not because we have to, but because it feels so good. There is this constant merging with what is that feels lighter and more free on the inside from this space. Whatever we want is what God wants. Our will becomes God's will, and God's will becomes our will. We become grounded in the divine reality. This grounded, enlightened state only happens through total, continuous state of surrender. So the big question I invite everyone to ask yourselves today is, what causes you not to be grounded in God? What causes you not to be grounded in God? What choices are you making that aren't allowing you to enjoy your life, relax into your body, and trust the divine? This is a unique and personal answer for every one of us. Yet there's a 99% chance it has something to do with being wrapped up in attachment to desire. Attachment to any one desire is what makes us think we are separate from God. Being deep in desire makes us think we need to go someplace better, have more money and things, become a better person, all so that we can eventually find happiness, fulfillment, and peace later on. Desiring all these things makes us reach, push, lunge out for that carrot and overlook the God source that is already within each and every one of us here now. Desire is a tricky thing because we also need desire to keep life alive, flowing, and karmically moving. Without desires, we would all become sleeping slugs and puddles of warm mud. This may sound nice to some of us, yet honestly, how many years can one really enjoy this? The discovery to having a great relationship with our desires is trusting that all of our wishes are also God's wishes for us. Know that this universe is a team player who is on our team, doing everything necessary to manifest our needs at the right time and place. When we truly surrender and trust that the universe is always working for us and never, ever against us, then we are able to relax fully inside our bodies and find a deeply grounding experience in the divine. If you should ever believe that God's will and your will are different, your ego is playing a game with you. We are never, ever separate from God. We only think we are trapped in a state of difficulty and suffering because there is some idea that we are separate. This is what ego is all about. Ego is simply a tension, an identity, a separate goal-oriented mind inside us that is all about serving the little me to attain its personal success and agenda. It has nothing to do with merging with existence. We are living from our microcosmic selves or our microcosmic self. Our microcosmic self or our macrocosmic self. Try living from both and see what happens. Remember, micro is minute, macro is large. Only living from ego's needs always leads to future suffering. Only living from ego's needs always leads to future suffering. This is what perpetuates the cycle of needing, having, possessing, wanting, then grasping for more. True surrender is perpetually trusting. It's a deep letting go of the ego's ideas about what you want and don't want. When we do let go, and we will start abiding in the sacred home and heart where God is, where the real you is. And manifesting our desires simply happens and feels like extra icing on the cake. Knowing this is true wisdom and the source of where real freedom, empowerment, love, and lightness will shine through. The apparent presence of the mind is the doorway to awakening. Make peace with the mind in every moment, and you will experience total bliss. Angela Walker. And be aware. And this is a great time of year to be really aware. And to truly be grounded in God is to slow your life way down. Walk slower. Eat slower. Just do things at half the speed you normally do them at. People easily miss God when they rush through their day. Rushing through any life experience is like an act of violence against our souls. It means we're attached to the mind, still chasing after that carrot and overlooking the sweet, old, loving, divine source that is here to be enjoyed at the core of our very beings. If you're hurrying to get here and there, you eventually get into the habit of feeling behind, overwhelmed, and never on top of your life. You stop believing in destiny and start beating yourself up about things that should or shouldn't have happened. When we slow down, we will notice that every single problem we have is because we are not fully here now, grounded in God. When the ego stops pushing us to get to the next experience so that we one day find happiness, we will drop the amnesia of what our life mission really is about. The day we are 100% surrendered to the God source, all our problems will have faded away, and we will see everything is deeply eternal, loving in disguise. And you can choose. It's always a choice for any of us. Here's an amazing habit to get into. Practice feeling how much the universe truly loves and supports you. Find some activity or community event that you want to go to that will be full of people who you do not know. You can simply visit a store, city, or shopping mall. When you enter the room full of people, imagine your heart is expanding to the size of the room. As you consciously expand your heart, say to yourself, everyone here is happy to see me and loves me. Then walk around the room or store with this loving consciousness in place and look people in the eyes. Look deep into their soul and do not be afraid to penetrate their mind and be penetrated. Just look with eyes filled with love. This will instantly put a stop to any loveless world that they may be caught in and remind them that they are loved. Keep walking around randomly, sending love into their hearts, and notice how people treat you. You will be amazed at how much love you feel from others and how good you'll feel at the end of this exercise. Throughout the week, interact with everybody you know from this open, loving space. Enjoy the experiences. You are about to have the most amazing, loving week of your life. And you feel in your heart mind, right in this very now moment, the tremendous difference in vibrational frequencies when we're in this state as compared to the rat race state, where we're hurrying, pushing, driving, striving every split second, where we never have enough time to get things done. And we're overloaded and overwhelmed at times because we have so many things that the ego mind is directing us to do. You get up in the morning, you're late, right? We've all done that. You go, oh my goodness, you look at the clock. I've overslept. And then the mad rush begins, doesn't it? Worry, stress, fear. Oh, if I'm late, I'm going to get in trouble, blah, 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 whatever, so on and so on. All these things flood in. So you rush right away. You rush brushing your teeth. You take a shower. You hurry. You're in a hurry, a mad rush. You don't know why. It's just, it's enveloped you and grabbed you, and it's dragging you along. And then by the time you get to your destination, you're exhausted. You ever been there? You say to yourself, "Great, wow, that was a real mad rush. I feel so wiped." Instead of, you look at the clock and you go, not a big deal. You slowly put your attention on the God that you are. You relax. You have no hurry. You have set no race pace. You're relaxed. So you move slowly. You brush your teeth, you do your thing, and it is a completely different experience. Total opposite of the mad rush of the rat race. This is how we get to know ourselves. This is how we get to go further and further within ourselves to discover the gods that we are. You can call the God pure consciousness. Call the God higher self, soul, whatever it may be. It's all one anyway. But see, it's the knowing that all of us have. We all have this knowing. It doesn't mean that we pay a lot of attention to it at times. We're in this mad rush. But around this time of year, take the time. Make the time for you. Love yourself deeply. Embrace yourself. Be super gentle, kind, and generous with yourself. Move into an attitude of gratitude every waking moment. Slow down. I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out of the mouth. Remain still. Start your day with this simple practice of relaxing your body from head to toe. The more your body relaxes, the more your mind will be at ease, and the greater the inner peace will be. After your body is relaxed, bring your mind to stillness by visualizing a large, beautiful, calm lake that is as smooth as glass. Let your mind merge with the water. However long it takes to reach this quiet stillness, keep sitting until your mind drowns in the complete stillness of the lake. When you get a good dose of stillness, you will see you have full access to the highest universal power and intelligence available in this universe. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning, and we will return here Friday, December 9th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, 9 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Reverse Aging Health call. Be good to yourself.